Hi there strikers, now our topic for today is about urban legend. On our first feature is the Japanese urban legend. We learned about their urban legends. A Japanese urban legend, Nihon no Toshi densetsu, is a story in Japanese folklore which is circulated as true. These urban legends are characterized by originating in or being popularized throughout the country of Japan. These urban legends commonly involve paranormal entities or creatures who encounter and or attack humans, but the term can also encompass widespread, non-supernatural rumors in popular culture. Urban legends in the former category rarely include the folklore yokai, instead being primarily based on contemporary examples of yurei, Japanese ghosts. Modern Japanese urban legends tend to take place in schools or urban settings, and some can be considered cautionary tales. On the 16th of December 1932, the Shirokuya department store fire in Tokyo resulted in 14 deaths. During the fire, many saleswomen in kimono were forced onto the roof of the 8-story building. Rumors later spread that some of these women refused to jump into the safety nets held by firefighters on the ground. Traditionally, women did not wear undergarments with kimono, and they were afraid they would be exposed and ashamed if they jumped. As a result, they died. This news attracted attention from as far away as Europe. It has been alleged that in the aftermath of the fire, department store management ordered saleswomen to wear panties or other underwear with their kimono, and the trend spread. Contrary to this belief, Chōetsu, a professor of Japanese customs and architecture at the International Research Center for Japanese Studies, has denied the story of the ambivalent women with fatal modesty. According to Inu, most people were saved by firemen, and the story of women who preferred to die with their modesty intact was fabricated for Westerners. The story has been prevalent in many reference books, even some published by the firefighting agency. Moreover, it is generally believed in Japan that the Shirokuya department store fire was a catalyst for the change in fashion customs, specifically the trend toward wearing Western-style panties, though there is no evidence to substantiate the belief. It was rumored that the Sony Corporation installed a device in all of its electronic products that caused them to fail soon after their warranties expired, an illegal form of planned obsolescence. This has never been substantiated, and while it is unlikely that Sony would explicitly add expiration devices to their hardware, the Sony timer has also been taken to mean that Sony manufactures devices to withstand just enough use to necessitate a new line. At the annual shareholders meeting in 2007, then-President Yoji Chibaki said that he was aware of the term Sony timer, aka manto. Red cloak is described as a male spirit who wears a red cloak and a mask which hides his face, and is said to haunt public or school bathrooms, and often specifically the last stall of female bathrooms. According to legend, individuals using a toilet in such bathrooms may be asked by aka manto to choose between red paper or blue paper. In some versions, the options will be red or blue cloaks, rather than paper. Choosing the red option results in fatal lacerations or flaying, while choosing the blue option results in strangulation or all of the individual's blood being drained from their body. Picking a color which has not been offered leads to the individual being dragged to an underworld or hell, and in some accounts, choosing yellow results in the person's head being pushed into the toilet. Ignoring the spirit, rejecting both options offered by the spirit, escaping the bathroom, or a combination of the aforementioned methods are said to result in the individual's survival. Cursed Kleenex commercial. In the 1980s, Kleenex released 3 Japanese commercials for their tissues, featuring a woman played by actress Keiko Matsuzaka dressed in a white dress and a child dressed as a Japanese ogre, sitting on straw. Each advert had the song It's a Fine Day by Edward Barton and Jane playing in the background. Allegedly, viewers began to file complaints with television stations and with Kleenex's corporate headquarters because they found the commercial unnerving, and some supposedly claimed that the song sounded like a German curse, despite the lyrics being in English. False rumors about the cast and crew are purported to have circulated, including that all those involved in filming the commercial met untimely deaths in accidents, that Matsuzaka was institutionalized after a mental breakdown, or that Matsuzaka became pregnant with a demon child. The demon child was actually supposed to be the character 10 from the anime Urusei Yatsura. The curse of the Colonel Kanoyu Sandasu no Noro is supposedly suffered by the Hanshin Tigers baseball team and cited as the cause of their poor performance in the Japan Championship Series. In 1985, fans of the Hanshin Tigers celebrated their team's first and only victory of the series and, in their excitement, threw a statue of Colonel Sanders, the founder and mascot of KFC, into the Dotonri River. For several years after the incident, the team failed to win the championship again, and some fans believed the team would never do so again until the statue was recovered. The legend is similar in nature to the curse of the Bambino. Gozu, cow head, also known as ox head, is a Japanese urban legend about a fictional story called Cowhead. Supposedly the Cowhead story is so horrifying that people who read or hear it are overcome with fear so great that they tremble violently for days on end until they die. The full story was broken up into fragments that when read individually are not lethal, but still bring great pain and suffering upon those who read or listen to their words. The Cowhead story was rumored to be an unpublished piece from sci-fi writer Seikyo Komatsu, but there is no evidence to link the author to the legend. A Ukrainian folktale called Cow's Head exists, about a woman who receives good fortune by offering food and shelter to a disembodied cow's head that visits her one night. A giant Matsuri folktale called Somen Shurai exists, about a poor but charitable person who receives good fortune by saving a tourist Gozuteno who was looking for a place to stay the night on his journey. Hangako-san, or Toi-Aya no Hangako-san, Hangako of the toilet, is a legend about the spirit of a young girl named Hangako who haunts school bathrooms. Different versions of the story include that Hangako-san is the ghost of a girl who committed suicide during an air raid in World War II, and she committed suicide after getting bullied and hated by other students or mates, so she committed suicide in a school bathroom. Rumors and legends about Hangako-san have achieved notable popularity in Japanese primary schools, where children may challenge classmates to try and summon Hangako-san. Inakashira Park Curse. In Inakashira Park, Tokyo, there is a shrine to the goddess Benzaten, as well as Inakashira Pond, a lake where visitors can rent rowing boats. There is an urban legend which states that if a couple rides on a boat together, their relationship will end prematurely. In some versions of the legend, happy couples who visit the park will be cursed by the jealous Benzaten, which will cause them to break up. Jinmonken, human-faced dog, are dogs with human faces that are said to appear at night in Japanese urban areas. They are rumored to be able to run along highways at extremely high speeds, which allows them to overtake cars and then look back at drivers with their human faces. Jinmonken can talk, but prefer to be left alone. In some stories, which are often presented as comedic, wherein individuals may encounter a dog rummaging through garbage, only for the dog to look up, revealing itself as a Jinmonken with its human face, and say something like "Leave me alone," or "Hotoite cure." Explanations for Jinmonken include that they are genetic experiments, or that a Jinmonken is the ghost of a human who was struck by a car while walking a dog. The concept of dogs with human faces dates back to at least as early as 1810, when a human-faced puppy was reportedly exhibited at a Missimano. Rumors about Jinmonken may also have circulated among surfers in the 1950s, but the modern concept of the legend is first known to have spread across Japan in 1989. Additionally, Jinmonken, or human-faced dogs, have made appearances in various media. A dog with a human face appears in the 1978 American film Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and Jinmonken have been featured in the anime and video game franchise Yokai Watch. Kokiri or Kokiri-san is a Japanese game which became popular during the Meiji era. The game is similar to the use of a Ouija board, though rather than using a store-bought board with letters and a planchette, players write down hiragana characters and place their fingers on a coin, before asking Kokiri-san a question. This is a popular game in Japanese high schools. Legends about the game include Kokiri-san only telling players the date of their death, while others say that one can ask Kokiri-san anything, but one must finish the game either by saying goodbye to Kokiri-san before leaving the table or by disposing of the Kokiri game utensils within a certain time limit, such as spending the coin or using up the ink in the pen used to write the hiragana. Kakaize Kona, slit-mouthed woman, is an urban legend about the malevolent spirit, or onryo, of a woman with a mutilated mouth. She is said to partially cover her face with a mask or object, and reportedly carries a sharp tool of some kind, such as a knife or a large pair of scissors. According to popular legend, she will ask potential victims if they think she is attractive. If an individual responds with no, she will kill them with her weapon. If they say yes, she will then reveal that the corners of her mouth have been slit from ear to ear. If the individual again responds that she is unattractive, or if they scream in fright, she will kill them with her weapon. If they say yes, she will cut the corners of their mouth in such a way that mimics her own disfigurement. Attempting to flee, Kakaize Kona will also result in death. To survive an encounter with her, it is said that individuals may answer her question with a response that confuses her, describing her appearance as average, distracting her with money or hard candy, specifically the traditional Japanese variety bekoum, or saying the word pomade 3 times. Kyonkun, wriggling body, is an urban legend which concerns distant apparitions seen on widely extended rice or barley fields on hot summer days. A kyonkun refers to an indiscernible white object, similar in appearance to a tall, slender strip of paper or a textile sheet, that shimmers and wiggles as if moved by wind, even on windless days. According to legend, anyone who tries to get a closer look at it is driven insane or dies when touching it. Early reports of kyonkun appeared on several websites at the same time. The kyonkun legend may be based on local ghost stories about scarecrows coming to life at night, or when someone stares at them too often. Alleged encounters of kyonkun are likely a misinterpretation of either a scarecrow wiggling slightly in the wind or wick drains planted to drain water from inner ground to robust the soft ground. Teek is the ghost of a young woman or schoolgirl who fell on a railway line, which resulted in her body being cut in half by a train. She is an onryo, or a vengeful spirit, who lurks around urban areas and train stations at night. Since she no longer has lower extremities, she travels on either her hands or elbows, dragging her upper torso and making a scratching or teek-like sound. If she encounters a potential victim, she will chase them and slice them in half at the torso with a scythe or other weapon. In some versions of the teek story, the spirit is identified as Kashima Reiko, who is said to have died when her legs were severed from her body by a train. According to legend, her legless ghost haunts bathrooms, asking occupants if they know where her legs are. If a questioned individual replies with an answer that Kashima deems unacceptable, she will tear or cut their legs off. Individuals may escape Kashima by replying that her legs are on the Meishin Expressway, or by answering her question with the phrase Keimen Shinin Ma, which translates to masked death demon.